very, very fortunate. We feel very, very fortunate to have won the game. I thought that Tennessee really, really battled and competed, and obviously out-hit us 14-8. I think the whole key to the game that enabled us to win was the fifth inning, holding them to one run. I believe they had second and third and nobody out after scoring one run already. And Clark Schmidt bowed his neck and threw some of the best pitches that he threw all night, and limited them to one run after they had second and third and nobody out. So that was a big part of the game for me. And then we made a couple big defensive plays. That play in the bottom of the top of the eighth with the bases loaded that Cullen made. That was very, very impressive for a freshman to make that play with the game on the line. It was when we kind of held on. You think you feel comfortable up 7-2. I didn't feel comfortable at all with the way they were swinging the bat, the way the ball was traveling, and as good as some of their hitters are. But we found a way to win, and I'm proud of my team for that. And hopefully we'll come to the park tomorrow and play a little bit better, do some things a little bit better than we did tonight. But all in all, I feel very, very fortunate to sit up here, having won that game, because I thought in many instances, from an offensive standpoint, Tennessee could have easily won that game and maybe deserved to win. But my kids battled and competed, and when adversity struck, they didn't get too rattled, and they handled it the right way, and we found a way to win.
Question, Brian.
Staying with that fifth inning, y'all went out there, had the mound visit. What was the decision to stick with him? I know he'd just gone over 100 pitches. Do you just feel like he was going to bow up like he did?
Well, he's our best guy, and I felt like if we were going to go to the bullpen that early, in the situation in which I think at that time, what was it? 3-2 maybe, the score? Yeah. And at that point in time, if we go to our bullpen that early in the fifth, in a tight game, that kind of you might not have much bullpen the rest of the weekend. And Clark was throwing good. I mean, his velocity was good. I don't think his command is as good as it's been, but he had good stuff. And he wanted really badly to go back out there in the seventh. And I just felt like, 115 pitches was enough. I kind of said, up 7-2. The maximum I was thinking was 125 pitches, but, it might have been the right decision for me to let him go back out there the way that inning, the seventh inning, unfolded. But he's a kid we trust. He's putting a lot of work in, and he's very, very prepared. And a lot of times he's at his best when his back's against the wall. And I think you saw that tonight.
What do you take away from the bullpen's performance, especially the seventh inning when couldn't seem to quite get out of that?
Well, I feel bad for Brandon. He's pitching on pins and needles a little bit right now, and it's very, very difficult to pitch well when you feel that way. He just feels like anytime he gets in trouble, he's probably coming out of the game because of the way that Tyler and Josh have thrown. Obviously there's games like that in the SEC, and against a good hitting team, you're not gonna be lights out and dominant each and every night. And certainly we weren't, but we got some big outs when we needed to. And the second and third and two outs there, and I think Tyler Johnson's last out that he that was an awful big out that he recorded. And we weren't, obviously they've pitched better from a line standpoint, but you have those days. I mean, Matt Price wasn't perfect every time he went out there. You're going to get hit from time to time in this league because there's good hitters on the other team. The other team gives scholarships out too, and they got the best hitter in the country on their team. And so we found a way to win, and I'm proud of that. I feel very good that SEC wins are hard to get, and we got one tonight when we easily could not have gotten one.
Touched on Josh already, but when he was out there in the eighth, ninth inning, no one was up in the bullpen. Was it his game to win or lose at that point?
It was his game until we got behind. Yep. It was his game. We were going to win or lose with him, with him having the ball. And obviously he'll probably be not available tomorrow. But like Coach Tanner always taught me, you don't lose today planning for tomorrow. You try to win today. And that was what we tried to do. And got away with a couple, things that you normally don't do. Baseball gods usually get you when you intentionally walk the winning run on, but it worked out this time. And kind of had your mindset before you go into a series. When you have a hitter like Nick, you try to say if there's a situation in which he has a chance to win the game, put him on. Even if, every logic says don't. And I think logic said put him on tonight, but it could have been a different situation. And with a runner at first, and I might have put him on. Because I have that much respect for him. And he just missed 2 balls, that we caught up against the wall. And he's a very, very gifted player.
Can you talk about the decision to play Madison at second base tonight? And what do you kind of see? What do you plan for him the rest of the week?
Well, I want Madison's bat in there. And he's just had, he's got 8 or 9, 10 at bats underneath him right now. And, I think we're formidable when we have him in there. I wanted to DH him, but I couldn't DH him tonight because of Jones's shoulder's a little tender. And it's been bothering him a little bit. And so I didn't feel comfortable. I thought Jones needed a day or so from catching. So and I just felt like we'd play Madison with the lefty throwing, and play Madison early, and play offense early and defense late. And I'm not saying Madison's a better hitter than DC or DC's better than Madison. I'm not saying that. I just felt good about the matchup. I told Madison and I told DC and I told Jonah that when I'm not DHing one of those 3 guys, that there's 2 positions for 3 spots, and I feel very good about all 3 players. And even though one's on the bench, that doesn't mean he's not a big part of our team. And they're going to have that attitude all the way through, because I'm going to play matchups, I'm going to play splits, but I just feel like for us to be the team that we want to be, I feel as I sit up here right now that if I get the best Madison Stokes that I can get, I think we're a formidable team offensively. And that doesn't mean that all 3 of them can't play if I DH Madison, but I just need to get him some at-bats. I look at it as an investment for later in the year. And at the same thing, Madison Stokes ain't chopped liver. He's a pretty good player. So that was the decision to play him.